I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to celebrate a win. That's right, because the Knicks beat. Hold on. Technical difficulties. I hear echo. There we go. Because the Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons 117-96. Gunshots for this Knicks win. RJ Barrett gives you 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shoots 57% from the field. Julius Randle gives you 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Mitch chips in with 3 blocks. And the stabilizer, Jalen Brunson, gives you 16 points, 5 assists, and shoots an astonishing 77% from the field. Let's go, New York Knicks. We're going to talk about it all. Before we talk about it, you know what it is, man. I'm going to introduce my guy. The man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Knicks win. I'm having technical difficulties on my computer as we're on the podcast, so I'm gonna be paying attention as Jay Ellis is going through it and give my thoughts here and there. But yeah, just letting y'all know I'm going through technical difficulties with my computer at the moment.
Oh, okay, Ryan G is going through technical difficulties. We're in preseason mode right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's going through technical difficulties. There's echoes going on, but we're gonna get right to it and talk Knicks. But before I talk Knicks, hold on, let me just shout out you guys in the panel, in the chat real quick. Shout out to Fritz Alessandro, the mod of the year, Kareem Grant, the ball don't lie, Black Nito, Rook Nuggy Fresh is in the building, picks for Timmy, Mansell Deshaun, JT Reddish, Echelon, everybody else is rocking with the KOT show early of the first Knicks preseason win. Now, let's get to it. First and foremost, we came in today with business on our mind, all right? No Kevin Knox revenge game here. No Nerlens Noel revenge game here. No Alec Burks revenge game here. The Knicks took care of business. We don't care about no Jaden Ivey. We don't care about no Jalen Duran that we drafted in the 11th pick and traded to the Detroit Pistons. None of that mattered when Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, and dare I say, Evan Fournier and Julius Randle are playing today, all right? Because they all showed out. And you cannot talk about this team and talk about this win without first mentioning Jalen Brunson, the stabilizer, the guy who was super efficient, the guy who RJ Barrett called a leader. He was very insistent to throwing that word in there in his post games, which gives me a little bit of confidence that this guy is not just walking the walk, but talking the talk. For somebody to talk about his leadership this early in the game, in the preseason, first preseason game of the year, I think it means that his influence is permeating throughout this team. And you saw it today. What I saw today from Jalen Brunson was him taking over, him taking the shots he wanted to take. I had a little bit of concern. One of the things I was looking at when I was watching this game is the spacing, because Dallas has that 5-out spacing, and I wanted to see if Jalen Brunson was here in New York City in a Knicks uniform, will he be able to capitalize on his strengths, which is getting to the rim and going to that mid-range game and staying efficient, because we don't have the shooters we have here. But lo and behold, he was definitely able to do that. got to the midi when he wanted to, blew by when he wanted to. And the thing that I really saw from him is how intelligent this guy is. He's a point guard who's not too fast, but it's all deception, change of pace, getting it into your body, blowing by, taking away mismatches, blowing by a big man, and finishing at the rim at a high clip. And granted, you don't want to over excite things, right? Because it's still the Pistons. This is not a high defensive team. This team is still a bottom feeder team who's still trying to figure it out with a bunch of guys who are pretty young, but you can only play the team that's in front of you. And what I saw from Jalen Brunson today, that he's going to be a calming force for us. And I like the shot distribution. He took over a lot. Like the way I wanted to go in my mind as far as maybe who getting the shots and when seemed like it happened today. And I want to see if this is going to carry over on who gets how many shots. Because and let me know when you're ready, Ryan. Just give me like a thumbs up or say I'm ready.
So now, I'm good to go now. Whatever issues I have, I'll just try to fix it after the podcast is over. So, you pretty much said everything on Jalen Brunson. Spacing was a concern, but I think what they did with this offense was there was constant movement. And when there's constant movement, that can help create space, even if you don't have the greatest shooters on the court with you. And the Knicks were constantly moving on offense, which created mismatches on offense. And the Knicks took advantage of that. And Jalen Brunson definitely showed that, he's efficient. I think he hit a couple of threes. He drove to the basket, finished at the rim. He pretty much showed an all-around game, and then he pitched in with 5 assists as well. So Jalen Brunson has definitely shown that. Like I said, it's one preseason game, so I don't want to, be all wild and be like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be one of the saviors of the Knicks and this and that. I don't want to be all.
No, he's the savior of the Knicks. No, Ryan, you said it right. Let's go. Let's go all the way over there. She's the savior of the Knicks. All-star game is coming. Championship is in the bag. We're going all over today, man. It's preseason. Go ahead.
Facts. Jalen Brunson definitely had a good showing tonight, and at least from this first preseason game, I can say that I am looking forward to what he's going to contribute to the Knicks throughout the season.
It's funny you said something. You said that there was a lot of ball movement. I'm not gonna lie, I saw a lot of pick and roll stuff, but I didn't see that much off ball movement, at least for my bare eye. Maybe I need to watch it again. But I felt like a lot of the shots was kind of created by Jalen Brunson's penetration.
When I say ball movement, I mean like players weren't really stationary. Like whether it was like ball screens or pick and roll or whatever the case may be, like the Knicks were creating space. It wasn't just like you give one guy the ball, everybody stood still, and then one guy just isolating and then just passing it out. I mean, like they tried to move the ball around, as in, through ball screens, through pick and roll, etc., to try to create mismatches and try to create that space, as opposed to, just having, shooters all around the court and, creating that space organically, which the Knicks don't have.
Right. I feel you. I feel you on that. I'm gonna let you know what I saw, right? The first quarter, I saw Jalen Brunson just set a tone. First time he got the ball, bucket. Second time he got the ball, I'm whizzing by somebody, I'm setting other people up. Third time he got the ball, bucket. Super aggressive to start the game. His aggressiveness to me then started to open things up for RJ. And one of the things that I wanted RJ to work on, or I wanted to see from RJ, is hitting that three. And I love what I saw from RJ today. He seemed very comfortable hitting that corner three when it was wide open. 3 of 5 from 3-point line, 60% from three. I saw this stat that said RJ Barrett shoots 42% on wide open threes. like wide open threes. That's last season in his down year. So Jalen Brunson, I already saw created wide open threes for RJ where it would look like free throws for him at that point. It looked very smooth. I was very happy to see it. And I was happy of the shots that he created for him. On the flip side, in that first or second quarter, first quarter more so, I saw Randle kind of struggling to figure out where he was getting his shots from. I saw some of the stuff I saw last season where he was shooting a lot more contested shots to begin the game. But I think by the time like the end of the third quarter came, he started to figure out where to get his shots from. And he started to actually move a little bit more, because that's one of the things you're looking for, right? You're looking for Randle and RJ to cut more off the ball. And when I started to see that, I started to be like, okay, this is more like what I want to see from Randle. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, most definitely. I think, like I said, I don't want to be too hard at anybody because it's the first preseason game, and Randle definitely doesn't deserve for me to be hard on him. Like he definitely played a good game tonight. But This game was a tale of two Randles, to be honest about it. Because in the first quarter, like you said, he definitely seemed like the old Randle from last season. Getting the ball, trying to take his man one-on-one, trying to force the issue, when it's not there. But at the same time, I have to big up Randle as well, because he made a couple of plays where last season he probably wouldn't have made these plays. Like one of the plays I see him make, which was a pretty impressive play, was when he lost the ball in the perimeter.
Yeah.
He saw RJ cutting, and he made that pass to RJ for the dunk. I thought that was really impressive from Randle. And
I agree.
Yeah, and like in the second half, like that's when Randle really opened up and he scored like about 8 straight points for the Knicks. So it was definitely a tale of good Randle and bad Randle. But overall, I have to give Randle his props. He played a good game tonight, and defensively, he showed effort.
Yeah.
It wasn't the no effort Randle from last season when it came to the defensive end. So I'm hoping that going into the season, that is the Randle that we get.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. The Randle rebrand has started today, and we'll see what's going to happen moving into the season. Definitely show some effort on defensive end, and picked it up in the second and third quarter. If we get more of that, we'll be fine. Salute to the chat though. Salute to the chat. Everything it's a big win, man. It's not a big win, but it's a win. You can't complain. But shout out to the chat. The phone lines are open too if you actually want to talk. You already see the number is at the bottom. 319-527-6241. That number is right there at the bottom if you want to call in. But shout out to Echelon, who sends a $2 super chat. Shout out to you. Again, shout out to Echelon. Says game was perfect for troubleshooting the offense. Troubleshooting the offense is probably the perfect word for what we saw today. It was like he's like, does this work? Yes. Does this work? Okay, no. Let's try here. And we got it together. And it's a good first team to try it out with too. A team that's still trying to figure it out themselves. And also shout out to my guy Jason N, who sends a $2 super chat. He says, we back. Jalen Brunson is the truth. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to my guy Jason M. And go ahead. I'm
sorry to cut you off, Jay. I see somebody in the chat saying I gave a negative review of Julius Randle. Was I negative, Jay Ellis?
On a Julius negative Randle? Review? No, you told the truth.
Yeah, was I negative on Julius Randle?
He told the truth. He had a slow start.
That's what I'm saying.
Offensively, then figured it out. That's the truth. That's just what happened.
Exactly. I'm just here spitting facts. I'm just being real about it.
It's
and
okay.
I gave the man his props. I'm on the Julius Randle. I'm supporting the dude. I want him to do well. But yeah. I'm not gonna be here and act like dude had this humongous game where he just played great all game. I'm just speaking true facts. That's all I'm doing. Overall, the man had a good game. I said that.
It's cool, Ryan. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Nah, man. People come in here with the BS like as if I'm being like I'm not being negative. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
if you didn't know, the G and Ryan G stands for gangster. I keep trying to tell everybody that. Ryan is a low key gangster on the low. Y'all don't know that, but I know because I know the kid for real. All right. But salute to the chat.
I mean, yo, if Julius Randle comes in and plays and gets 5 points in the game and shoots 3 of 20 from the field, I'm gonna be here all positive and shit, since that's what y'all want from me.
It's okay, Ryan. It's okay, Ryan. Listen, Randle 15 points, 60% from the field, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Pretty decent game for Julius Randle in 18 minutes. That's all you can ask for. And defense, that's all you can really ask for. That's all. That's it.
The man had a good game.
The man had a good game. He's cool. He's cool. Yo, and there's also one more thing I want to say, right? RJ Barrett. No, RJ Barrett also had a good game. He started to get it going in the second and third quarter. He still has to look out for his finishing. That's one of the things I was looking out for. I was looking out to see how he finished. He still kind of goes down there sometimes with no plan. And he got blocked pretty bad at the rim. But then he also had a nice little finish over Bogdanovich. But the thing I want RJ to do, and you're probably going to hear me say this all season long, I need RJ to copy, paste Jalen Brunson's game and put it in his folder. All right? Because when I look at Jalen Brunson, I'm looking at a guy who's not that fast, but his strength is his strength, right? His strength is his physical strength. And all he does is do a lot of hang dribbles, deceptive dribbling, picks his spots with a speed burst, footwork, spin move, pivots, laying. RJ Barrett, to me, and Jalen Brunson kind of can do the same things. I know RJ Barrett has been looking at the DeMar DeRozan's footwork and everybody else. The man you should study right now is in your backyard. Straight up. RJ, copy Jalen Brunson's entire package. Straight up. That's how I feel. All right.
You definitely learn something from Jalen Brunson from the pace department. I definitely agree on that.
Facts. Copy, paste, repeat. Jalen Brunson. All right. Also, we got some other places to talk about. Yo, somebody else I need to big up. Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein. How nice is it to have a 3-point shooting center in your back pocket just to come in and pull the trigger on these goons, man? Isaiah Hartenstein came in the game, pull up 3, bang. Another pull up 3, bang. Hustles on defense. I saw him drive. He did a head fake and then drive to the basket. Hartenstein can be a problem, dog. He can be a huge problem. Now I didn't even see him get into his passing bag. He didn't even get into his passing bag yet because he didn't really get to touch the ball at the top of the key, really. But Hartenstein is a weapon. And one of the things I was looking for him to do is to shoot more threes because he has the reputation of a 3-point shooter, but he only shot 33s all last season. But this season, I really want to see him let it fly. I want to see him shoot like 2 threes a game, 2 to 3 threes a game. And if he does that, like 2.5 threes a game for this Knicks team, I can see him playing with both units depending on the situation and really having an impact on his team, especially considering how, Jalen Brunson was cooking on Dallas playing 5 out. You know what I mean? What anything to add to that? What do you think of Isaiah's game?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, the energy he plays with, as Raw would call them, he definitely fits into Mob Deep. The energy he plays with. So that's number one. Number two, he has that dimension to his game where he can shoot the 3, hit 2 3-pointers today. So he definitely showed that as a new dimension being added to the Knicks from the big men. So that's number 2. Number 3, like I said, I like this energy. He definitely fits into the team. That second unit, I could definitely see him fitting in well. And I was pleasantly surprised today. Like I saw him a few games with the Clippers, and he was a good player off the bench for them. But just seeing how he fit in with this Knicks team, I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm definitely looking forward to what he will produce with the team this upcoming season.
Yeah, Mob D might be one of the best, or not, if not the best second unit in the game with Hartenstein, D Rose, IQ, OB in the mix. And unfortunately, Cam Reddish didn't quite dog.
Bruh.
Cam Reddish went out like Melo, man. Went out like Melo. If you didn't know, Cam Reddish injured, twisted his ankle, tripping over a ref. I don't even know when it happened, but that's exactly the way that Melo went down that one year when we was in a playoff hunt when Derek Fisher was the coach. So, it's crazy how much unlucky this kid is, man. Every time Grimes gets hurt, and I'm like, dog, this is Redish's time. It's time for him to shine, to take over. He gets hurt literally right afterwards every single time, and it's like, man, it was frustrating because he started out okay, then he started to struggle, but even though he struggled, I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be fine. He's gonna get more opportunities because people are still resting. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he keeps messing his ankles up. Maybe something workout things he needs to do to strengthen his ankles or his calves or something. Because he just keeps doing it. Talk to Steph Curry, man. Talk to Steph Curry.
Yeah, man, it's very unfortunate because with Grimes out, like you said, that was his opportunity to shine and show that he does deserve a spot within the rotation. But now he's hurt again, and I think they mentioned it on the TNT broadcast that Stan Van Gundy was speaking, and he was basically saying that the reason why the current young guys have so much pull with Thibs, he was talking about like Quickly, OB, Mitch, RJ, basically the young guys that Thibs plays. And he was basically saying that the reason why Thibs play these guys is because these guys are available.
Yeah.
Thibs, these guys have spent a lot of time with Thibs. So Thibs has learned to trust them. But he hasn't had much time with Cam, so he doesn't trust Cam yet. And in order for Cam to get that more playing time, he needs to spend more time with Thibs and actually have more opportunities to show that he's deserving of a spot on the rotation. But with him going down with injury again, it just hurts his chances again. And I'm hoping it's nothing serious and he's able to get back before preseason ends. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But it's just unfortunate, man. It's like he cannot get a legit shot with the Knicks to prove that he deserves a spot in rotation.
Yeah, it's a bit deflating with the Cam situation. For real. And listen, the way Fournier played today, Fournier wasn't playing like no slouch. Not on defense. I mean, he had one big blunder. I feel like he has one or two big blunders a game where he just has a brain fart, doesn't know where he's going. And he looks like, I don't know, like a dog chasing his tail. But Fournier played defense today, man. So Fournier is not looking to just give up his spot. So like best ability is availability. So Cam gotta be available. And Grimes does too. Grimes absolutely does too. Yeah.
It's true. It's just that, when Grimes is healthy, I feel like that position is going to be Grimes. I feel like Cam has to at least try to beat out Grimes for that last, for that kind of like last spot in the rotation, because you're going to have Rhodes, you're going to have Quickly, you're going to have Hartenstein, you're going to have Obi. So there's still that, that last spot that's there. And I think when Grimes and Cam is healthy, more than likely he's going to go to Grimes. So I think if Cam wants a spot in the rotation, he has to try to beat out Grimes. But if he keeps getting hurt like this, he's not going to beat out Grimes, especially with the way Grimes showed out in summer league. If he comes like that into the regular season, then you can forget about it.
Yeah, man. He has to shake this bag juju off of him. But yo, salute to the chat, man. salute to chat. We're gonna go to phone calls after I shout these guys out. Shout out to my real fake cousin Winston Ellis. Shout out to you. Shout out to JT Reddick, King Knick's Prophecy, Black Nido, and everybody else rocking with the KOT show. I see we got 3 phone calls up. Let's start to get to it. First caller up. Let us know what your name is, where you from, what you want to talk about.
Yeah, Big Reaper guys, thank you for taking my call. How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
We good.
Yeah, actually, obviously, good start this preseason, but honestly, it felt good to see how they were playing out there. Honestly, at first, it kind of felt like last year's offense sprinkled with a heavy sprinkle of Jalen Brunson. But they kind of, as the game went along, it felt like they started figuring it out. So I felt like that was a good thing. The one thing that kind of stood out for me was I definitely like the way Julius is playing. He kind of in the beginning he tried to do some of the same stuff he was doing last year.
Yep.
But I think he quickly realized obviously it wasn't working, so he started playing off ball a little more, taking open shots, and also he actually started attacking the paint a little more when he had the ability. So he made some quicker decisions, but most of all, the fact that he was closing out on the defensive end, closing out on shooters, that was good to see too. So, so Julius played pretty well. Jalen Brunson, obviously, I think a lot of people knew he was going to be very efficient, and so. But the thing that was really good is I think JLS. I think you did a great job describing the game, and it's pretty much when we needed the buckets. He kind of stepped in and gave us the buckets, and it kind of gives everyone else kind of like room to kind of figure out, gives them room to figure out how they want to fit into the offense. And so I think that was very important to see from Brunson.
Absolutely.
The other thing I saw was with IQ, I think the second team, the defense is okay. They kind of, in the beginning, they were struggling a little bit on the defense, but they kind of got it together, and it kind of felt like they were playing a little tight. Definitely OB was playing, his shot was way off today, so I guess I wasn't too concerned about it because I think obviously if you're open, you got to take the shot, and so I think he was doing a good job at least throwing up, putting up
take the shots. Take the shots that are open, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta take it. Yeah, but I was very impressed with IQ. Also, the thing I noticed with when he was playing with D Rose, so originally D Rose was basically on ball, and it felt like IQ was kind of struggling to get his rhythm, and then D Rose decided to go off ball, and IQ went on the ball, and then IQ started cooking. So it's I don't know. I think it's almost like they're really tethered to each other, and they're kind of I feel like they understand each other, and it's a good thing. And so, it is preseason. You don't want to get too, obviously we don't want to overreact, but it was good to see it. It definitely they look ready. It looks good. And then Deuce, definitely on defense, he looked really good.
Oh yeah,
I'm wondering yeah,
sheesh.
Yeah,
Ro would be proud. I know Ro somewhere going, yeah. I already know. I already know Ro was going crazy.
What's funny though? A couple of days ago, during his interviews, I think he did it was 2 days of interviews he did, and he kept volunteering information on Deuce. Nobody asked him about Deuce, but he was talking about Deuce a couple of times, and so that kind of got me thinking, So I guess it's good he got some burn. He may, I don't know, but I think he actually may get some burn this year, given the way, I know it's preseason, but I don't know. I think D-Rose is going to be on chill mode for the most of the regular season, unless they need him,
Yeah.
Unless he's in a game and they're struggling. It seems like I think he's going to be on chill mode. And it's good to see. And he really shouldn't play more than 18 minutes a game, in my opinion. They need to just kind of they really need to really limit his minutes. And if we get lucky and we're kind of, we make the playoffs, then that's when you break that glass and pull them out.
Yeah. I can. We'll see. We'll see how they use D Rose. I mean, he lost all that weight, so I know it seems like he's trying to prolong his career. That's usually that first step. So I want to see how he reacts with all the weight loss. But thanks for calling in, Reaper. I want to get to the other calls and get Ryan's reaction on what you just said.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
First call of the night, Reaper. Anything to add to what he just said, Ryan?
well, first and foremost, Reaper pretty much said what you said, and he pretty much said what I said about Julius Randle's game. But yet he ended up saying Julius Randle played well. So I guess we were all being negative.
Ryan, let it go, Ryan.
Like,
Ryan, let it go. Relax. Relate. Dude probably not even in the chat no more. I don't even know who.
I'm just saying, but yeah, like Reaper was definitely on point. Like I really don't have nothing else to add. Like Reaper was definitely on point with his analysis, and Reaper's always one of our callers where he definitely knows the game and he's always on point with what he says. So I'm with Reaper on everything what he said.
Copy paste. One thing I will say is about IQ. Ultimately, IQ had a good game, right?
Yeah.
He had a little problem figuring it out too. I felt like he was getting a little bit of shot happy. I felt like his shot chart was weird. Like I feel like he should have been passing when he was in shooting a few times. But I mean, despite those little hiccups, I think he still got it together. The thing that I really noticed about our IQ tonight was his propensity to actually get to the rim. He got to the rim a lot. You can tell he worked on it in the offseason. He said he did. And I don't think I've seen him get to the rim. And when I mean to the rim, I don't even mean like that little short mid. I mean the rim. He got to the rim a lot and went to the line a lot. And he got a little stronger too. Didn't seem like he was getting bumped off his spot. And for IQ, that's going to go a long way with his field goal percentage climbing, because, he hasn't really been shooting over like 39-40% for his career so far. So tonight shot 45%, and that's really because of his shot chart, right? He's a good shooter, but he just takes the wrong types of shots because he's such a good shooter. But once he starts to corral that, then you should start to see him starting to ascend. So shaky for IQ, but overall he stayed the ship and got it all right. Shot 45% from the field. Didn't shoot well from three, but the fact that he just kept going to the line and going to the rim boded well for him. All right.
Yeah. Before we get to the next call, I do want to throw in one thing about IQ. Usually with players, like you said, the reason why they shoot 39-40% from the field is because they're too perimeter oriented. Like they take a lot of perimeter shots, and with IQ shot selection, it's off at times. He doesn't take the best shots all the time. But for IQ to get his efficiency up, that's what he needs to do. He actually needs to get easy baskets.
Yep.
With what he's doing at the moment. And I feel like he carried that over from late last season, because if you remember late last season, he started to penetrate more and get to the basket as well. So I'm glad to see that from IQ. And yeah, man, if he can get that efficiency up to 45% like how he shot tonight, he's definitely going to be a major player for the Knicks this season.
Yeah, you're right. And you already know that 3-point shot is going to come around at some point. And he can be dangerous. He can definitely be dangerous. Man, we can have a really good team from top to bottom. If our first unit can figure it out for real, and our second unit stays mob deep from the last few years, there could be something, man. We can make some noise. We can make some noise for real. But this is only preseason. It's only the first game. And it's the Pistons. The Pistons is the same team we used to smack around like an abusive relationship last season. All right. So I don't want to get overhyped, but it's good. It was a good showing for us. All right. Salute to the chat. We got another caller up. Next caller up, Edson from LI. I thought he was Edson Sean for a second when I first saw that shit.
Oh, geez, what the fuck?
Shout out to Edson from LI, man. Let us know what you want to talk about, sir.
What's up, guys? Shout out to KOT. Shout out to all Knick fans across all the social media. Nice pregame.
All right.
It's hard not to get excited about it, but it's like that earlier comment. It's troubleshooting. It's finding out what works.
Right.
And this is the perfect team to do so because they haven't quite figured out anything yet. So you might as well get away with a lot of things. And just like, I kind of was watching it, so I was just like, ugly turnovers. But then I reminded myself, it's like, this is just only a preseason game.
Facts.
And I'm looking for things that work, you know? And that's and obviously whatever worked got us at that 20-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
This thing started lighting up, especially I started seeing like, you know, from the second unit and the young guys like Deuce. Whew, I was loving Deuce. I was loving Deuce time.
You want to Deuce Hive?
Yeah, a part of the Deuce Hive.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to ask Rawhebrew for that.
Shout out to Rawhebrew. Deuce Hive.
Yeah, shout out to Rawhebrew. I bet he's twerking right now.
Oh man,
Twerking for Deuce. I'm telling you said that. I'm telling you said.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I love the game. The only thing that could be is the downside is just Cam, just a sprain, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's good. I know it means quite unique because of how Cam is in our situation with the Knicks. Considering Tom Thibodeau is very, very like poignant about availability. It's just like, I mean, if you caught yourself with a splinter, you're just like, to him, you're not available. But it's just a sprain. He'll come back, and we'll just try to start all over and just forget that ever happened. That's all I'm saying. It's just like it's not. And plus, I thought the guys that were keeping it quiet, but they were like talk around that they were in the off season, they were on the court, playing with each other. That's why I figured that it's like hey, whatever we were doing all summer, let's try it right now. Because there's not going to be another opportunity to do so in the regular season, especially when you got a guy like Thib, who's going to try to push it to do what he knows, what he's comfortable with. But the only thing I would say that counterbalance is talented would be Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
as we can see that Jalen immediately is like chucking things like, "No, that don't work." And he ain't going to get heat from Thib because he was given the keys. That's what he was going to do. He's going to do feels what's right.
Hey,
Go
man,
ahead.
if he performs like he did today, given the keys, hey, have the keys, dog. Like,
Yep.
Have the keys. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Take it out for a spin. Just, let me know what time you come back home. Like, that's how I feel about it, all right? Sure, you can stay out later if you want. That's how I feel about it, yo. All right.
Yeah, pretty much. You just take it out of drive, Hey, you might go a little crazy on the parkway, but you come back in one piece.
Exactly. It's going crazy on the parkway is shooting 77% from the field, and almost all of his shots were layups. Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Go crazy.
Yeah,
all fact.
I feel on that. And for like guys, as far as when it comes to Randle, I thought this was just being on his a good behavior, but we're going to see how it is. Because it's a very long season. But I want to see more of this because between every 4 years and Randle, and shockingly enough, I just saw one defensive play for Fournier. I was rubbing my eyes. That they would just increase their stock and come by deadline, we could actually move something. We could actually achieve.
We'll see. But yo, salute to you, man. Thanks for calling in. This is your first time calling in, right?
Yeah, I think I called a couple of times, but I'm gonna just feel like this is my first time every day.
Cool, yo. It's a new first time, right? All right, born again virgin. All right, I'll take it.
All right,
yo, thanks for calling, Edson.
Guys.
Hi, salute.
All right, bye.
Yo, shout out to Edson who just called in. Listen, Joe Long. Yes, you can call in. This is a call-in show. You know what, Fritz, can you put the number in the chat? But the number is right there at the bottom of the graphic. 319-527-6241. That is 319-527-6241. You can call into KLT show and talk your stuff and what you think about the game, all right? But shout out to you, all right? Shout out to you, Nucky Fresh, Eric in the building, and shout out to Angel Blue as well. Next caller up, my guy, Jason M. On-time caller. What's going on, Jason?
What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey man, what's up?
Dude, that was just a good game to watch, man. A lot of negativity amongst Knicks fans. We really needed that.
Yeah, yeah, we needed that smacking for real, and the way they
And
smacked them too was important.
Brunson is the truth. I've been a fan of his for a long time. I always liked the signing. I think in 2 or 3 years, we might be looking at him and RJ having like the best non-rookie contracts in the NBA. Like that's because his contract's declining. He's at the end of in a couple years, he's only making 23 million. I think.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good point.
that is going up. So people don't realize that. That's a big deal.
Now that's a huge deal. Like the fact that Jalen Brunson's contract is declining as well, and it's what like 24 million this last year. If he's playing like he is right now, I mean, this is the preseason, so I don't want to overreact. But this is a good sign. This can be an actually really good value signing for us long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, you're right. It's just preseason. But the other thing I want to point out, you know, not to toot my own horn, but I told you guys it's going to be more sharing the usage. I don't know what the numbers are, but it looked like they were sharing usage to me.
They
between
were.
RJ, Brunson, and Randle.
Yeah, you know what, right? You know what's funny? I was tracking it. So the usage was more Brunson for like the first quarter. I felt like it was Brunson and then RJ for the first 2 quarters. And like Randle just took over like the whole third quarter pretty much. But it ended up with Randle and RJ taking a lot more shots in the third quarter. But I don't mind the flow though. I don't mind the flow of the offense the way it went. Like if Randle has it going, go to town. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I want it. I don't want Randle to be making something out of nothing for the most part. I want Jalen Brunson and I want RJ to do most of that. But if Randle has it going, go to town. And that's the way it happened today.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's that he was like looking to pass. Like even when he did like try to create, he was driving and trying to pass the ball. You know, the issue, like I said, a lot of the issue for me last year was the offense was just give him the ball and just watch him, or not even because just give him the ball and then he would like post up, he would wait, and it was just stagnant. It was terrible. You know, so the whole offense needs to move faster. And it looked, I mean, it's only one game, so it looked a lot better. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, the last thing I'll say is this: we kill Tibbs when they play bad. We got to give Tibbs credit when they play good too. So shout out to Tibbs.
Yeah. Shout out to Tibbs. Did a great job. Had the whole team's defense was on fire today. They did a really good job forcing turnovers. They had 13 turnovers by halftime, 18 points for turnovers. Defense was on a string. Even Fournier was out there playing defense. Good job by Tibbs. Pretty good job by Tibbs. But hopefully he can keep this up. And yeah, I pulled up the stats for shot distribution purposes. We have RJ Barrett took 14 field goals, Randle with 10, and Jalen Brunson with 9. But I feel like RJ got the 14 field goals when Brunson went to the bench, and because Brunson was out first. But yeah, shot distribution was pretty even, like you said.
Yeah, pretty
All right.
much.
Yo, salute to Jason M. Thank you for calling in, Jay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I do want to throw in one thing about Thibs though, because as much, you know, beef as us Knicks fans have with Thibs with some of the decisions that he makes, the one good thing about Thibs is that Thibs teams are always ready to play. Like it doesn't matter whether it's the first preseason game or late in the season, like Thibs gets his guys ready to play. And that's one thing you can guarantee about Thibs teams.
Got you. Yeah, you're right about that. It's like every year too, especially because we have a lot of trades that happen every year. Usually, these guys practice amongst themselves. They was always talking about. Jalen Brunson talked about he was here early, and when people were practicing in New York, he would come up and practice with them and this establish rapport and try to lead that way. So these guys have been pretty. You know, they've been in the gym with each other. Even Hartenstein and Obi and those guys, they've been with each other all summer. So They stay prepared, and Tibbs is going to do that for sure. All right. I don't know if we have any more calls. I think that's all we have. I don't really have that much more to talk about. All I have to say is pretty good game. Defense was good. I want to see more of this. For me, I'm looking to see next game. Is there gonna be more of the same? Is the pace gonna be picked up like we wanted to? Or is RJ and Julius Randle gonna be moving more off ball? Because I feel like Randle in particular, he started moving a little bit more towards the end. And I want to see if this defense keeps up. And I really want to see what's going to happen with Cam, but it's unfortunate that Cam was injured and we don't get to see more of that. So we're probably going to see a lot more quickly being the first guy off the bench, playing that shooting guard role instead of Cam. And yeah, the only other good thing I want to say too is I was reading a stat earlier that said Jalen Brunson's isolation defense was in the 85th percentile, and his pick and roll defense was kind of lower. It was like in the 54th percentile or something like that. I really got to see it today in action because Cade and these guys were trying to take him one-on-one off the dribble or post him, and he was not having it. He was not having it. But I did feel like Jaden Ivey was able to get in the paint whenever he wanted off of drives and pick and rolls of that nature. So I really got to see that dynamic. Overall, it got me really hopeful that our defense can hold up. You know what I mean? We just have to be able to cover for each other. I even saw when Jalen Brunson got screened, then Evan kind of switched and covered for him pretty well. So shout out to Evan, who did a pretty good job in that third quarter playing defense. I guess they adjusted to Pistons schemes, but they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Oh, and shout out to Echelon, who gives a $5 super chat. It says, I think efficiency is something to look out for, and that may conflict what Tibbs is comfortable with. But Jalen and Rick can clear his ear out. Can clear his ear out? What do you mean clear his ear out? I'm trying to figure out what that means. You trying to say Jalen and Rick will talk his ear off to get him to...
I think what he's trying to say is that Jalen and Rick will kind of get Thibs to step out of his comfort zone a little bit. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Oh, clean his ear out. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, Joe. The ticker is just the score, dog. It's just the Knicks versus the Pistons, man. He's not Ryan is not a Pistons fan, man. He's
Yeah, definitely not. Never that.
Never that. Knicks fans for life. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yep. All right. That is our show. Obi, I want to see Obi do better next game. Pick up his rebounding, shoot some more threes, get comfortable in that regard. And hopefully Cam Reddish is healthy. And shout out to Mitchell Robinson, who did a phenomenal job with his 3 blocks. And I feel like he had a steal, 3 blocks and 1 steal. And and hold up, the Mitch Rob was in the paint and attempted a post play. People didn't believe him. He was like, "Yo, it's running on post game."
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the 3-second violation, he would have got the basket too.
Yeah, that's one thing about getting a post game. You have to be more aware of how long you're in the post.
Yeah.
But I've complained. People kept talking about Mitch doesn't post. Our guards never gave him the ball when he was in position to post. I've watched him in the post try to I watched the Knicks grab the rebound, Mitch run down the court, and him try to post a smaller player over and over again, only for Alec Burks to ignore him. All right. So I think with Jalen Brunson here, if he does that same thing and post up in that middle, he's actually going to get the ball more. And he'll actually start to get that rhythm of knowing when he's going to be in the paint a little bit too long. All right. But yep, that's our show. If you like this show, so for applause, please hit the like button, subscribe button. We're going live after every game, so definitely check us out. And usually next game, hopefully we have the full crew. Shout out to Lee, had a work obligation to do, so shout out to you. And Royal is having a party today at his crib watching this game, so shout out to Royal. All right. And also for you guys, Thursday, what's the next game?
Friday, I believe.
Next game is Friday. Next game is Friday, but you're gonna want to be here Thursday. You're gonna have a guest on Thursday. You're supposed to have a special guest on Monday, but he had to postpone the Thursday. So watch out for us on Thursday and our special guest. Definitely want to be here for that guest. So tune in to KOT Show live on Thursday, and we'll be here. Trust me, you're gonna want to be here. All right. Ryan, just let them know. Let them know where you can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN. You can also find me at Sir G's Corner. Content coming soon. You can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
That's right. And you already know what it is. Listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. You can get your KOT snapbacks at thenicktimeshow.com/catalog. Also follow us on the KOT Show on Twitter. Also the Knick Time Show on Facebook and Instagram to follow us on all social media. All right. All righty then. That is our show. Thanks for tuning in. The first preseason game of the season. And as always,
Shout out to Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
it's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's our show. We out of here.
Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.